Hello everybody, how are you doing tonight? Hope you are doing well. It's been a fine weekend. I've been so tired today for no reason. Also had a killer headache earlier, but we get past these things. Yeah, we're back here for some more Arcade Spirits, so let's get that started up. As soon as... there we go. Alright. Take it to the max. Take it to the max. See, I believe last time we had just said that we wanted to be like an events coordinator for the arcade or something. That sounds right. Oh, I didn't do my vocal warm-ups. Okay. It's fine. We can make this work. It is the future year 20XX, and today is the day. Well, not the actual big day when we reveal Wyvern Keep, but a big day in relation to that big day. Have it muted, but hope you have a good stream, King. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Teach. And I am completely stressed out. My mission, should I choose to accept it, and I kinda already chose to accept it, is to spread the word about the upcoming Funplex event. The one that I'm in charge of. The one that I've put a ton of effort and hope into already. The one where, if nobody shows up, it spells doom for all. Hey, no pressure, right? I mean, if I fail, I'll only be the laughingstock of the entire Funplex. They'll call me the Funplex failure for the rest of my days. I'll be shamed, forced to wear a giant red F on my chest. Snap out of it, Pucas. Let's focus on what's right here, right now. Specifically, a giant conglomerate horde of people that keep bumping into me and smell like corn chips, and there is nowhere to run. I might be a little over my head here. Working in the arcade, I've gotten used to smaller crowds. My skin has gotten a little thicker and... excuse me. My skin has gotten a little thicker and resistant to sticky soda hands touching me accidentally. But nothing could have prepared me the sheer scope and scale of this. Just me and, I don't know, maybe 50,000 other people. I know Naomi's the one who doesn't like crowds, not me, but come on, this isn't a crowd. It's a Gojira-sized evacuation mosh pit, complete with Gojira-sized screens hanging overhead, constantly showing advertisements for arcade games and industry happenings. Wow, it's so exciting. Isn't it exciting, Pucas? That is a word, yes? I've never really been to one of these things. What a spectacle. Thanks for giving me a ticket. I really need to get away for a weekend. Hey, Pucas, how are you holding up? Looking a little green around the gills there. I can smile through this. I'm holding up. As long as I can keep my internal monologue going and be able to speak frankly through my own mind, I'll be fine on the outside. It's the perfect facade. Can't you tell by my awkward smile, my eyes open wide, and the tilt of my head that I'm holding up? Perfectly?
That's for life.
That's exactly why I came here with you, to help you in your hour of need, and to get away for the weekend, but still, hour of need. It's true, Juniper's helped me get through a lot, but beyond generalities, I think she specifically wanted to make it up to me for the whole job offer situation. It's nicer to have her here. We're not going to let a little thing like that stay as a sticking point between us. So what's the plan? Oh, jeez. The second I turn on the stream, I start yawning. Huh? You can't just stand around all day, Pucas. There's a lot of ground we need to cover to make your Funplex a success. How are we going to attack this? What's the first move? I was just going to sort of play it by ear. You didn't plan for this? Like, at all? I was too busy lying awake all night, stressing out to worry about planning things. Look, I'm new at event management, much less event promotion. Pucas, well, let's start with this. Juniper swings her book bag off her shoulders and crouches on the ground. She opens it up and pulls out a stack of papers. Hold these. I cradle them in my arms. Okay, I'm holding these. What are these, exactly? Flyers, silly, for when you wanted for promoting your big event. I managed to print off quite a few before the boss started giving me weird looks. Our copier rule is always so strict in office jobs. It's just paper, and I needed it. flip over a sheet and I start to remember. It was about 2 weeks ago. Ashley and I were holding down the fort that day. Gavin locked himself in the office and told me that if I bothered him for anything other than emergency, I would not live to regret it. Francine stayed home that day. She was marathoning a competitive knitting show or something like that. Naomi was out shopping for extra parts. The Dig Dug machine was acting up again. The buttons were sticking from kids spilling a slushie on it. So what started as a pretty boring day in an empty funplex changed rapidly when Teo came into the funplex carrying an armload of giant rolled-up posters.
Hello there.
Heyo, Pucas. Heyo, Ashley. Welcome home, Teo. Good morning, my fair Teo. How start thou? Only so freaking excited. I might explode into 1,000 bits. Please don't. That'd be an awful mess to clean up. We don't have nearly enough hydrogen peroxide to get out the bloodstains, and I don't have a plastic tub full of lye to dissolve your body parts in. Not to mention the years of therapy Pucas and I will have to go through to get over how horrible it would be to watch your friend die violently in front of you. I just can't afford it.
Sheesh.
It's just a turn of phrase. Chill. I'm not gonna literally explode. But, guess what's happening in 2 weeks? It's something huge for us. Are they showing a compilation of internet cat videos at the movie quad? Please tell me we're finally going to replace the blindingly horrid casino-like carpet beneath our feet. Hey, I like the carpet. It's fun. No and no. Okay. I guess I've teased it enough. Teo took the poster he was clutching and unravels them before us. It's Max time.
Oh my gosh!
Max? Max is already here?
Poops.
Fuck, I thought that was for another month. That means I really gotta double down on my cosplay production. Say goodbye to sleeping for the next 2 weeks. I got so much to do now. I know, right? I still have to meet with all the dancers and work on our synchronized dance routine. Nearly not enough time to perfect it. I have to find a good time and place for an international Showtime stage community gathering. I still have to finish hand-sewing all the embellishments to my tailcoat, find or make a decent pocket watch, and start and finish my 3rd cosplay. Death take me now. Oh, wait, can we go back a minute? What exactly is MAX? The best gaming convention ever. Did you both plan to say that in unison? Regardless, I'm still mostly confused and require further exposition. MAX is the Mega Arcade Expo, an annual arcade gaming convention. It happens every year around this time over on the West Coast. But this year they're having a MAX right here in our city, and it's going to be the biggest one yet. I always go every year and show off my newest cosplay. It's a great way to meet a whole bunch of other arcade people, and catch up with those you haven't seen since the last convention. It's so much fun! Okay, I see why you're both excited. Sounds cool. Yep, and I was thinking we could put up some MAX posters around the Funplex to, get all the locals hyped about it. It's a splendid idea, Teo. Finally, an East Coast MAX. We gotta make sure everyone knows about it. That we do. Teo, Ashley, and I spent the next half an hour putting up posters around the Funplex. We plastered as many surfaces as we could without making it look too obscene. While we were pushing pins into the wall, Teo and Ashley kept telling me stories of past Maxes and all the fun they had. Their spirit was infectious at the very least. Hard for me to avoid ending up on the hype train. Choo-choo. But importantly, the more I heard, the more I started thinking about how we could use this event to benefit the Funplex in some way. As the Funplex's newly minted event manager, I had to be on the lookout for opportunities like these. The very first MAX on the East Coast? It'd be perfect. Hey, can we promote the Funplex's event at MAX? Good for local buzz, and maybe we can convince some out-of-towners to stick around for it. Ooh, that's the one you've been working on, right, Pucas? Yeah, I've got ideas for tournaments, token discounts, much to Gavin's displeasure, and more. And we'll be revealing the new game we got from the raid. I see, and do you have a name for this grand event yet? Yeah, Pucas, what's it called? I've been thinking long and hard on coming up with the perfect name. But I think I figured it out. Are you ready? Am I? The suspense is killing us. The Funplex event will be called... Oh, I get to type it? The event will be called... Pee-pee poo-poo. No. That would be kind of funny. Everyone would be talking about how excited they are for pee-pee poo-poo. This is why I shouldn't be left on my own. The Funplex event. Ow. Funplex event. I mean, that's kind of funny, right? Hey, are you guys all excited for Funplex event? Oh yeah, I'm super excited for Funplex event. Yo, Funplex event is gonna be so cool. I was thinking of calling it Funplex event. How's that sound, I wonder? We should call it Funplex event. What do you think? Eh? Oh, I do so love it. It's perfect. Really? You named it Funplex event? There are worse things you could have called it. It is kind of catchy, though. Nice work, friend. Thanks, you two. So, how do I get the tickets to Max, and how can we advertise there, and, how much would all that cost? I'm still living off pizza bagels, you know? I mean, you don't already have your tickets? They sell out on day one, my friend. Actually, they sell out in about 20 minutes on day one, and all the hotel rooms are gone way sooner. What? No. My greatest plan's foiled. Pucas, while you were all talking, I located all the scalpers who were willing to sell online tickets online at exorbitant prices. Then I hacked into their IP addresses, found less than tasteful information on a couple of them, which would make their lives very difficult if it got out in the open. After contacting them, I promised I wouldn't leak such sensitive materials into the internet in exchange for selling us the tickets at their original prices. And they've gladly obliged. Such nice humans. I transferred the funds from your account to theirs and secured the tickets. You should be getting from an email for 2 Max tickets in approximately 3, 2, 1, done. Oh, and I suggest you invite Juniper to come along as your second. According to Juniper's Iris, she's very stressed from her job and could use a mini vacation. Okay, but, Iris? That's kinda known as blackmail. What you just did is technically very, very illegal. Don't worry, Pucas. I erased all possible leads back to you. You'll be fine. And it's all in the name of helping the Funplex, isn't it? Just like you wanted me to do? Well, Iris has been dedicating herself to this event. I couldn't be doing it without her, even if we have to have another talk about human ethics. Fine, but next time let's do it without any federal crimes, okay? Okay, it's a promise. Regardless, hey, tickets! Now you can go, sweet. I'm not gonna pity a few cold-hearted, bloodthirsty ticket scalpers myself. Those guys ruin events like Max. Also, while I was procuring your tickets, I stumbled across the Funplex's Facewall account. It hasn't been updated in exactly 13 weeks, 2 days, 14 hours, and 54 seconds. The Funplex's social media presence is completely non-existent. Wait, we have a Facewall account? I mean, that does make sense, but still, I had no clue of its existence. I sorta run it. I'm really bad at keeping up on it, though. It sounds like it would be Gavin's thing. Why isn't he in charge of it? Gavin couldn't care less about social media. He says that, and I quote, "Social media is where idiots go to yell at each other about nothing of any importance, and I'm not going to waste my time with it." That also sounds like Gavin. Yep, and Francine's too old to understand the importance of social media. Naomi is way too busy with all her beloved games, so it fell into my hands. Which, as Iris stated, I haven't been doing a great job at it. Well, we should take advantage of it for this. We can use the Facewall account to spread the word of Funplex event. You're completely right. I should work harder at it. Or if you want to, you could take it over. As the events manager, that'd make sense. Sure. I really should take on this responsibility. It can only benefit the Funplex, and Ashley's right. Getting the word out is part of being the event manager. Right. I got this. Ashley, can you email me the login info? Yep, and yep. Ashley pulls out her phone and fiddles with it for a minute. Login, get. Congratulations! You are the new owner of our social media accounts. Huzzah, the power is all mine. Mine! Ashley, are you sure you want to give Pucas this much power? If the fact that he threw his head back and cackled isn't sign enough, I don't know what it is. Mine! I'm not worried one bit. Excellent. Pucas, I can help the Funplex keep up with the Facewall, too. I can program timed posts and use effective keywords to get the most out of each post. SEO is one of my many, many talents. That'd be helpful, actually. Just, don't break any laws. Understood. Do I have permission to access your contacts on your Facewall? Sure. And there. I've sent out notifications to everyone on your friends list and your friends' friends list about Funplex event. That was fast. No joke. One more thing. Your site should have about 75% more images. Did you know that 90% of people prefer looking at pictures online rather than reading? Sometimes I just don't understand you sentient beings. Your Iris does make a good point. We should totally come up with a poster for our event. We can hand them out at Max, too. And, of course, put them up around the arcade. Okay. The arcade isn't too hectic today. Ashley, if you wanted to watch the floor, I can go design us a sweet flyer to pass out to the congoers. It is time to deploy my mad artist skills. Ew, sounds like a plan. Let's make this the best Max ever. One we'll never forget. I have no mad art skills, do I? I spent the rest of the afternoon working hard on having the perfect design for our poster. Well, a design for our poster, at any rate. Oh, I was hoping I would get to make it. Which brings me back around to the stack of papers currently in my arms, which do not, in fact, resemble the poster I designed. Oh, I took the liberty of tuning your poster just a little. Funplex event, Business Comfort Tournament, Movie World Record Exhibition, Mystery Rare Game Reveal, High Score Contest, all day, all games. And changing the font selection and picking out new clip art and rearranging everything and using a popular color scheme, but I liked my original design. Pucas used Comic Sans and Papyrus. Comic Sans is cool, right? It looks like a comic book. Gamer nerds love comic books, don't they? And Papyrus was in that movie with the blue cat people aliens everyone loved. Take it from a wannabe visual designer, Comic Sans is a one-way ticket to the uncool zone. But these new flyers are going to pull people in from the four corners of the globe. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess these are kind of not bad. Pretty good, actually. Okay, they're superior by every conceivable metric. I didn't know you were an artist, Juniper.
I mean...
I'm not really. I mean, I guess I'm good at pretending to be one, but I couldn't, like, make art for a living, right? I couldn't. Anyway, if that stack is enough, I also emailed you a copy of the original flyer. Just take it to a copy shop or some... copy shop or something. They can run off more. I wasn't expecting copy shop to be the tongue twister of the night. Publishing document get. So, back to the point at hand, getting the information to the masses. Maybe if we just start yelling, "Hey, you guys!" Several people turn around and look at us confusedly. Juniper! What? Yelling is probably not the best way to get our word out. And I'm actually still waiting for Ashley and Teo to show up. They promised they'd help me, so I think I'll just hang out until they arrive. As you like, seems my work here is done. Juniper pulls out her phone and checks it. You Funplex folks fling some flyers. As for me, there's a really cool panel I want to attend. How to get your foot in the door of the arcade art industry. I mean, not that I'm seriously thinking about it, just, you know, it's interesting and stuff. Oh, starting in 10 minutes. Catch up with you at home. Good luck, Pucas. Juniper waves as she trots off. I lose sight of her instantly as she ducks into the crowd. Growing up, I always knew that arcades were amazingly popular, but the reality of it all didn't really stick until being here at Max. Thousands of people all coming together for the love of games. It's actually pretty damn inspiring. I muster enough courage to wade my way through several hundred people into the main convention hall. Eventually I find a safe space, a humble bench near the water fountains. I make this my home base while I wait for my friends. Since both Teo and Ashley are running late, I have some time to fully take in my surroundings, in a calmer fashion, of course. Everywhere I look, everything I see, it's all steeped in arcade culture. Booths are set up for all the major arcade companies, each table vying for the attention of the crowd. Some have spaces set up with stages, flashing lights, and people throwing t-shirts into lines of people. Can we talk about these lines for a second, though? There are lines for everything. Lines to play games, lines to go see a panel, lines to eat disgusting convention food, lines for the bathroom. There are even lines to get into other lines. And they all just wait there, standing, happily chittering amongst themselves. I have trouble waiting in line for 10 minutes at the whole story for a coffee, let alone waiting in line for 3 hours just to be a game that will be released in 4 months. These people aren't even human anymore. Their perseverance is godlike. The sensory output here is overwhelming. People are shouting and laughing as they crowd areas. Music pumps out of several different booths, making it a weird mashup of notes and chiptunes. There's even a giant dinosaur that people can take selfies with. As I contemplate how I'm going to attract all these people to Funplex event, I hear sounds of very loud and very upbeat music from behind me. I feel the bumping of the bass reverberate through my shoes and I turn around. Pucas! Teo sits down a colossal boombox at his feet. I recognize the music now. It's from Showtime Stage, and Teo is bumping his signature song. I motion for him to turn down the music, and he complies. The last thing I need to do is lose my voice from shouting before I even get the chance to talk to anybody. Hey. Sorry I'm late. I had some last-minute dance moves I had to incorporate into the routine. No worries, I just got here myself. Despite Max's many attempts to trample me, I have survived thus far. Yeah, looks like you are significantly non-trampled. Nicely done. Don't congratulate me yet, we still have the rest of the day to endure. What's with the boombox, by the way? Oh, this? It's for the Showtime Stage gathering. There are going to be a couple hundred of us from all over the world. Didn't realize there's Showtime Stage communities in other countries.
Absolutely.
We're actually the second biggest community. The largest is in Japan. Several players flew all the way from Tokyo just to be part of our Showtime Stage flash mob. So many people here. An impromptu giant dancing crowd sounds like it could get complicated. An epic battle of crowds. There could be bumping, fist pumping. Who knows what will happen when the music starts? Unsafe at any BPM. Flash mob? Here? Doesn't that sound dangerous?
Sheesh.
Pucas, you're thinking too much on it. It's gonna be fine. This is my first flash mob, you know? It's not? Nah, and it's all gone off without a hitch. No deaths, even. I've been planning it for months and taking coordination from all the leaders of all the Showtime groups. There was a lot of work from all sides to make this come together. Now all that's left is to actually do it. In fact, Pucas, you should come watch it. I was about to respond when a very elegantly dressed gentleman caught my eye. He wore a black proper tailcoat with an ornate sigil pinned to his breast. Accompanying his suit, he had fashioned himself with white regal gloves. With the cloth draped over his arm, he held tightly onto an antique tea kettle. As he approached, the crowd parted like waves from Moses. There were oohs and ahs from onlookers, and people pulled out their phones to get a quick picture of him. Like the rest of this crowd, I was taken aback at how immaculate this butler was. Absolute perfection. I felt like I had time warped back to the 1800s and about to have tea with royalty. He stepped up to me and Teo and gave us a slight bow. Normally this would be ridiculous out of place, but not an arcade convention. He's a character from a hot fighting game called Melee Maidens. It's all about ninja maids and battle butlers duking it out for the right to serve a fancy party or something. His cosplayer is decked out in full butler regalia, teapot and all. I think I'll play along this charade. Just in time, the dilithium crystals are busted and the replicator on the fritz. Number 1, make it so. Pucas, it's me. Huh? How does Mystery Butler know my name? Do I have a stalker who is also a butler? What if we work together? Uh-huh. Did Francine hire someone and not tell me about it? How long have Gavin, Naomi, and Ashley? It took you long enough, jeez. Confused look on your face. Priceless. Have you never seen Ashley's crossplay before? Possibly? Probably not. What's crossplay? It's when you cosplay as another gender. Oh, okay. Ashley, seriously, you look completely different. I didn't even recognize you. Sorry I let you think otherwise for a minute, but it was all in good fun. No worries, it's pretty impressive work. Oh, it's not impressive at all. I mean, I could have done a much better job at sewing the coattails, and I need to be like 5 inches taller, and I didn't go to the gym enough before this. Can't change any of that now, and honestly, it looks fine. Regardless, the cosplay parade is starting soon, and I need to get over there. You should come with me. Hey now, Pucas was going with me to the Showtime stage gathering. Well, whatever Pucas wants to do, it's his choice. That's fair. Either way, it'd be a good opportunity to promote Funflex to one crowd or another. So would you like to come with me to the cosplay parade? Or join me in the flash mob? Would I rather advertise to... Sirens somewhere. Would I rather advertise to cosplayers or the Showtime stage crew? I'm pretty sure I did the flash mob last time. So I'm gonna check out the cosplay parade. Huzzah! This way! Ashley led the way as we weaved between people in the crowd. We traveled through the largest exhibit hall to get to the cosplayer gathering. Ashley had mentioned it was in the Pac-Man theater, which meant risking our lives through the most densely packed hall of the entire con. I thought the main hall was bad, but this was 1,000 times worse. At one point they announced that the show floor had just opened up and a huge rush of people came straight for us. It gave me flashbacks to the one time I worked shoe shop retail over the holidays. The horror. The horror. The gamer stampede came straight towards us, wild eyes and groping hands. I thought for sure I was going to get trampled to death. But at the last second, Ashley pulled me to safety. You gotta be more careful, Pucas. Don't lose sight of me. She points to her eyes and then back to mine. Our eyes now locked forever in a mystical eye-locking spell. Eventually, after several more attempts on my life through various death by copious amounts of people, we made our way to the Pac-Man theater. The theater was huge, capable of packing in several hundred people. Most of these seats were already taken too. People were milling around the auditorium aisles. My floor attendant senses detected this as a fire hazard, but a huge stage had been set up in front of us, where normally there'd be a table for the speakers, like in a panel discussion forum. Since the theater is so large, they place projector screens on either side of the stage, so whatever is happening can be seen by those sitting in the back row. It's safe to assume this is one of the auditoriums save for the more popular panels, and now the cosplay parade? Ashley, what exactly is a cosplay parade? I'm so glad you asked, Pucas. It's where all the cosplayers get together, line up, and show off their latest creations for the masses on the theater stage up front there. Now that I think about it, kind of self-explanatory, right? Sometimes they even give prizes to the best cosplayers, but this one's pretty chill. No prizes? Not even a shiny plastic cup to heft over your head? Maybe one day. Today we're here to appreciate each other's talents and have fun. Before I can interject again, Ashley runs over to a person dressed as a maid. It looks very uniform to Ashley's butler cosplay. Maybe they're from the same game?
Oh my gosh!
I absolutely adore your Mia from Melee Maidens. It's totally cute, and your sword incredible. Thank you. I made it from craft bone and warbler. It only took 30 hours to do. So professional looking, dang. I can't get over how dapper your Angus is. The details you put into his pocket watch are phenomenal. I actually found the watch at a thrift shop and then just molded the extra embellishments on it with clay. This went on for some time. I felt it would be rude to interrupt Ashley when she's obviously having so much fun being a part of her community. As I continued to chat about making costumes, I noticed that more and more cosplayers were filling into the theater. For once in my life, I actually felt uncomfortable wearing my usual comfy as heck hoodie. I felt underdressed compared to all the Melee Maidens cosplayers. Seriously, was this a costume ball or a black tie gala? Not even mentioning the congregation of feathers, capes, prop weapons, and wings, and someone in a giant Moopy costume made out of square foam pixels. Percy would be delighted to see that. For all the visual chaos, the vibe remained pretty chill and friendly, just folks sharing common joy in dressing up as someone else. Eventually, Ashley parted from her conversation to check on me. Sorry, Pucas, sometimes I get so swept up in it all. I get it. Back at the Funplex, you mentioned that you can only... Back at the Funplex, you mentioned that you can only see some of your friends here at these cosplay events. Oh yeah, cosplayers travel all over, more than other gaming communities, I bet. Do you know everyone here? Oh no, I mean, I know a good amount of people here, but everyone? Nah. Sure seems like you. I've seen at least 30 people come up and compliment your butler. Hey, nice Angus. Love the tailcoat. Thankies. There, see what I mean? You're mega popular. You think we can spin that into some kind of cosplay event at Funplex event? Hey, great idea. We can have a real cosplay contest, and I'm gonna win. What's this? Competitive, Ashley? You've been taking notes from Queen Bee, haven't you? What? Don't tell me you saw us practicing in the bathroom the other day. I didn't. But now I can't get that image out of my mind. We ladies gotta stick together. Ladies helping ladies. Our chuckles were interrupted by one of the Max tenants. Sorry, practicing in the bathroom? I don't think there are arcade games in there, Ashley. Judge Randall, if you are participating in the cosplay parade, I need you to gather in the backstage green room. I repeat, all cosplayers proceed to the green room. Like a slow herd of brightly colored sheep, Ashley and I moved into the next room to join the rest of the cosplayers. Why am I going back there? When we got to the front of the line, the attendant stopped me dead in my tracks. Cosplayers only. No handlers unless you're visibly holding up something. Handlers? Oh, hey, Pucas? Ashley tilts her head to signal me to step aside. Excuse us, we'll be right back. If you want to be part of the parade, you have to be back here in the next 20 minutes. I step out of line and stand next to Ashley, who's digging through her bag. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but I feel like this is our only option. Ashley pulls out a surprisingly fancy and elegant maid outfit, and then hands it to me. I need you to wear this. You just happen to have this? This is all too convenient that Ashley has a maid cosplay just tucked away, roughly in my size, prepared for something like this. I'm on to you. What do you mean? First of all, why exactly do I need to wear this? Secondly, you planned for this, didn't you? And lastly, you just want to see me in a maid outfit. 1. You need to wear this to get on stage as part of the cosplay parade. A moment in the spotlight would help you spread word about Funplex event, right? We're better than the biggest auditorium at Max. 2. I did plan for this. Sometimes handlers aren't allowed to go on stage with their cosplayers, and I need to get you. Ashley pointed at me, and then to the theater stage. On there. 3. Yes, duh.
Nope.
But I'm not going to force you to do something you don't want to. If you don't want to take spotlight with me, don't worry, I'll still help promote the event. It's totally up to you, okay? And no hard feelings either way. Well, this would be a terrific opportunity for me to promote my event. Is a bit of personal embarrassment the price I pay, or should I just leave that to her? Alright, this is the closest y'all are ever going to get to me wearing a maid outfit. Can't say I'm totally thrilled, but, well, why not? I'm willing to do it to help get the word out. Count me in. Great, trust me, this will be tons of fun. We made our way to the nearest bathrooms, and I changed into the maid outfit. Struggled to figure out all the clasps and what velcros to what, but Ashley took the time to help get me situated. Once we're done, we headed backstage, which I'd say resembled the Funplex break room, but hey, same purpose, same function. Here, the cosplayers lie in wait for the big show to start, including one particular butler and a newly minted maid. Squee! You look so cute! I wish I looked half as cute as you do in this. But seriously, you're gonna have to do this with me more often. You make a perfect Alice. Alice? Right, I forget you know nothing of Melee Maidens. Alice is the head maid of the Nico Manor. Sorry, Nico Manor? Okay. So Angus, that's me, and Alice, that's you, are siblings fighting alongside each other to prevent other maids and butlers from taking over their estate. They fight for Lady Nice.
Oh my!
Oh, and I almost forgot. Ashley pulls out more costume stuff from her pack. This time it's a set of cat ears and a tail. Alice is a cat girl. What? but you don't have cat ears, and I thought we were siblings. Shh! Spoilers! You don't find out they're siblings until after you beat Angus's story arc. When the game starts, Angus has amnesia, and after you win, Alice appears and tells you everything. Angus's power is unleashed and he becomes his old Catboy self. It also unlocks extra skin you can play with, but now we've gotten very far off track. Satisfied? Any more questions? I think that covers it. Ashley fastens the cattail of the black on the back of the maid dress and places the headband on my head. I swear I didn't know this. Like I said, last time I played on my own, I went with Teo. Well, I suppose we might as well. For free. With the costume finalized, I take a long, hard look in the mirror. And okay, it's not half bad. It's definitely not me, but I can live with this. Oh good, Katie and Steph are here. Who? And they're a couple of my good cosplay friends, and they're way more talented than me even. And they just so happen to be the MCs for the cosplay parade. Ashley waves over to them and they smile, waving back. I talked with them earlier. After the parade, they'll let us come up on stage and talk about Funplex event. Oh, really? Really? Thank you so much, Ashley. That'll help a ton. Yeah, it helps to know people sometimes. We found a few other cosplayers who dressed up as other Melee Maidens characters, and we all formed up into a group. Even though we were together, Ashley and I kept to ourselves, save for pleasantries. As we chatted away, the Max attendant came back to give us a final warning before we went on stage. Everyone listen up. We got 10 minutes before the parade. Make sure you're all ready to go. I think I'm experiencing performance anxiety. My heart rate's increased and I feel flushed. The pressure to look perfect is too much. Ashley, do I look okay? Are my ears on straight? What about the tail? You look fine, trust me. You're the best Catgirl maid I've ever seen. I bet you say that to all your cosplay friends. I don't. Honest. Well, I think that your, what'd you call it, crossplay is fantastic. Why'd you choose to crossplay as Angus anyway? I would have expected you to be one of the other fancy maids.
Crossplay because that's what makes me feel most comfortable. At first, I dressed as various boys because I adored those characters so much, you know? But the more I did it, the more I had fun with it. The more I began to feel like me. And then I wanted to do it more and more. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means in relation to who I am, and that's the confusing part. But I guess that's all part of the journey about finding out more about myself. I know it's hard to understand, but just know that I'm working on being happy with myself. And one day, I'll be able to put words into what I'm feeling. But until then, I'll enjoy the ride.
I see. I hope I didn't press you into oversharing just now. Hell yeah, I never came across this last time I played. This game's awesome.
I wouldn't have shared it if I didn't feel comfortable with you. I mean this with all my heart. You are a cherished friend.
Gosh, thanks Ashley. I really appreciate the trust you put in me and I won't let you down. Cosplayers, the time is nigh. Once again, the attendant started barking orders at us. We all shuffled into another line, like how we were told to do earlier, and slowly we all began filing out of the room. The closer we got to the stage doors, the more I feel the nerves creep in. We are next! Melee Maidens Group, go! Now! Ashley looks over at me, just beaming. This is her life, her everything. Take a deep breath, Pucas. I close my eyes, taking in as much air as I can. I hold it in for a long moment before exhaling. I open my eyes slowly and take a step into the Pac-Man Theater and onto the stage. I'm following Ashley, who is following the rest of the Maid and Butler crew. Once all of us are on stage, the MCs announce us as the Melee Maidens Group. As I look out in front of us, I can see a completely packed theater. It's hard to make out specific faces due to the stage lights, but I can see the outline of hundreds of people. A rush of adrenaline surges through my body, and I look over to Ashley. A proper butler, she takes each step with purpose and elegance. She isn't breaking character for anything. Not all the cheers in the audience, not all the people smiling and laughing around her. She is Angus, and she's owning it. The announcers ask us to strike a pose on 3, 2, 1. I lean over, hand on my hip whilst giving a coy expression and a wink to the audience. We finish holding our poses long enough for everyone in the audience to get a good amount of pictures of us. And once a sufficient amount of snaps have been snapped, an MC instructs us to stay on the stage, passing Ashley a microphone for a big Funplex event announcement.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It means so much to us that you could join my sister Alice and I here at Nico Manor. Spoilers! As you know, we adore organizing assortment gallon at Lady Nice's estate. However, Alice and I are planning a very extravagant event at a very extravagant location. Go on, Alice, tell them everything. Ashley hands the mic to me. Watching her never break characters inspired me to play along too. That's right, Angus. Next weekend we'll be hosting a costume contest at Francine's Arcade Funplex at the Twin Pines Mall. It's all a part of Funplex event, along with a Fist of Discomfort tournament, a world record attempt on Moopy's Magical Maze, and the reveal of a rare and mysterious game. Oh my, first time the public will have seen it? You know it, brother. This isn't the event to miss. It'll be the most noteworthy event of the season. And remember, this is a private affair, so please only tell your closest friends. Ashley winks to the audience before bowing. Another rush of cheers fills the theater as we walk off stage for a second time. The MCs give their closing words and dismiss the audience. As people begin exiting the auditorium, I feel my phone begin to vibrate in my hidden dress pocket. At first it was a couple vibrations, but before I could realize what was happening, my phone started seizing. What the? I pulled my phone from the pocket and saw that Funplex's face wall had over 1,000 shiny new likes. No, really, what the hell?
Listen.
The cosplay parade is a huge part of every Max and generates thousands of photos and articles online. Also, it was being live streamed. Ashley, you failed to mention that part. Well, you seem nervous, and I didn't want to make it worse. And that act you just pulled has now generated a 700% increase of traffic on our site. I also gobbled up some paid keywords, so if anyone posts about cosplay at Max, they'll see an ad for Funplex event. Pretty genius, right? Quickly, I scanned my own face wall, and even people I knew who weren't arcaders were talking up a storm about it. I could also hear cosplayers discussing it as we waited for the auditorium to clear out. I can't wait till next weekend. That Funplex event thing sounds like a blast. I'm totally going to that Funplex place. Do I want to wear my next cosplay there? Pucas, we did it. I had lots of help from you too, Ashley. Don't count yourself out. We make a pretty great team. It's great to hear all the buzz around the cosplay community, and Iris really helped with the social media aspect. Can't believe it was that easy. I mean, tiring, but easy. That was great fun and all, but I'm completely exhausted. Me too. I need a break from all this. Time to collect my thoughts and rest my eyes from all those flashing lights. I'm still seeing spots. You hear that Gav and Naomi are running a pop-up arcade for the Funplex? A bunch of other local arcades are doing the same over in Hall B. It might be worth stopping by there for a breather with some friends. And make sure they aren't slacking. Sounds like a solid plan. You want to come with me? Not quite yet. I need to do some touch-ups on my makeup. How about I meet you there later? Great, see you soon. I wave bye to Ashley as I make my way toward the costumes to get changed back into my usual clothes for the time being. And then it's off to Exhibit Hall B on the lookout for Gavin's serious face or Naomi's kind one. Let's see, Exhibit Hall B. It very much resembles Exhibit Hall A, where I started my day. Inches for tripes, dealers, swag, crowds. Where there's definitely more actual arcade games here, as local places have set up pop-up arcades all over the place. It's hard to notice the smaller displays with the giant garish Deco's Palace display eating up the center, but I managed to crawl my way around the edges to find... well, now, pretty much everyone else in the crew save for Francine. Teo and Ashley are still off hanging with their respective communities. Got some time, maybe I can bend someone's ear meanwhile. Let's see, what's everyone doing right now? As if there was ever a choice. Naomi looks totally frustrated with the monitor chassis for her game partially removed so she can tinker with it. There's definitely neck glows, but the neck can't be cracked, so why am I getting nothing at all? Hey, Naomi. Oh, Pucas. Sorry, I was wrapped up in my own little world there. What's up? I'm taking a break, and as of now, you are on break as well. It's sweet, but I really can't... You're getting nowhere with that game. Take a break. Consider it an order. Guess I'm on break then. Cool. You want to get away from the crowd for a bit? Find a quiet corner and hang out, decompress a bit? Absolutely. I can busy myself with the games, but I hate the crowds. Always have every year I go to Max. Naomi reaches out and grabs my hand before I can object, and drags us off to a semi-quiet little niche between two display booths. Good for a private conversation. Okay, no broken games, no chattering strangers. Good. Honestly, I love my retro games, but I wish they'd break down less often. All this 1980X tech is fun to play with, except when downtime is lost profits. Okay, so I gotta know, why the fixation on retro games? I'm not saying they aren't cool, it's just not something folks our age are usually into, right?
I can test that with posts by 20-somethings on classic game collector sites. But you're really asking why I'm into this stuff. And hey, what's not to love? The cool glow of a cathode ray tube, blooming color through the scan lines, the simple and clean pixel art style.
Telio. Hello. MXCX Roni? Not sure if that's how you say that, but thanks for coming by.
One stick, a few buttons. easy to learn, hard to master. You can keep your crazy networked real-time strategy beat-em-up sports fighter thingies. Give me a maze or a spaceship or a bunch of dots any day.
Or a princess to rescue and turtles to jump on. What path are you pursuing? I am fully on ending up with Naomi. This is actually my second time playing this game. I played it for the first time a couple years ago, ended up with Naomi, but I haven't played the sequel yet, and I wanted to stream the sequel, so I needed to stream the first one first again. So I figure try it again and take a couple different paths, but I still want to end up with Naomi, because that is... yeah. Right, well, more the jumping than the rescuing, although I do like the princess rescuing the prince in Wyvern Keep. Good pick, Pucas. Weren't you pulling for me to pick Phrase Invaders? Well, yeah, but I can dig Wyvern Keep, too. So how'd you get started with retro games? Well, I know the cliche answer is I had an older brother who introduced me to games, but that's basically the truth, sort of indirectly, I guess. I still have yet to check out the second game as well. Yeah, I've had it sitting around in my Steam library for, I don't know, a while now, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But, yeah, once some of the visual novel streams took off, I was like, okay, well, might as well use this as an excuse to finally get around to new challengers. And first do Arcade Spirits, because I love this game so much. And I get to share it before I hop into the sequel. For a whole summer, my jerk of a brother was in charge of babysitting me. And being a teenager, he didn't want to bother. He wanted to go to the arcade and hang with his friends. So he dragged little old me with him to the arcade, gave me a fistful of tokens, and told me to go keep myself busy. At first, I played what all kids played. Ticket games, prize games, but I got bored with it fast, realizing I wasn't winning much of anything. Honestly, kids are smart, right? They gotta realize they're being scammed. Hell, don't be so hard on kids. I've worked the floor for weeks. I've seen how fixated a kid can get on some high-ticket plushie. When you've made up your mind and already spent piles of tokens, well, you gotta keep going. Otherwise, you have to admit it wasn't worth it. After all, once you've sunk the cost... Oh! Yeah, it's cruel, the sunk cost fallacy. I wish I could just give those kids the toy they want, or, I don't know, sell it, but no way Gavin would allow that. Plus, well, there was one other problem with the ticket game area. Too many kids, just way too many kids I didn't know from schools I didn't go to. I was too timid to ask someone to leave a game I wanted to play, or even to hover around them, worried they might talk to me. I'm not really good with strangers, huge crowds of them. Once I get to know someone, well, they're not a stranger, that's different. Like you, I got to know you quickly enough. Considering she gave me her lunch on day one, quickly indeed. But there was one area of the arcade which had next to nobody playing games, where I didn't need to put a quarter up and wait in line, where everything was fun. Retro games. Exactly! Only a few older guys back then, I could play anything I wanted, and every game was a single token. It was also amazingly cool, flashy, and colorful, and it was paradise. Those games were my new best friends. Now I looked forward to my jerk of a brother abandoning me in the arcade to go play fighting games. Eventually, summer vacation ended and it was back to school, but I kept visiting arcades, especially ones with good retro collections. So that's how I got into classic arcade games. And that's how you caught Pac-Man fever. The only prescription is more Pac-Man. Somebody call a doctor. Girl's got Pac-Man fever. Sadly, it is an incurable condition. Oh, I bought that album. Buckner and Garcia. Amazing stuff. It's got all sorts of songs on it about Donkey Kong, Centipede, Frogger. You can borrow my copy if you want. I've got it on vinyl and tape. I lack any hardware whatsoever which can play those. Really? But vinyl is so much better than MP3. Ladies and gentlemen, Naomi Fairchild, the hipster who could fit in your pocket. I know it's a little weird for me to not be interested in newer games, and it's not like new games are universally awful, but I like what I like. I love what I love. I do what I love for a living. How cool is that? As long as the Funplex stays open and keeps its retro spirit bright, I'll be happy. Well, event manager Pucas will see to it that we keep our doors open. That's why I'm here at Max, to make this event the big deal it deserves to be. Thanks so much for that. I'm no good at the meet and greet stuff. I think we should both get back to what we do best, for the glory of the Funplex. For the glory of the Funplex. The two of us make our way back to the mini Funplex. Her to resume tinkering, me to catch up with Teo and Ashley again. My current status? Sitting. And enjoying it. It took a few minutes of searching and stalking, but eventually I found an open seat in the pop-up arcade. While the sit is satisfying, the rest of everything else is miserable. My feet are sore from walking all over, and I don't remember the last time I ate. I feel dehydrated and I have a slight headache from all the noise. And there are still 4 more hours of max left. Oh, if Gavin saw me in my current state, leaning back, arms at my side, completely exhausted, I can picture it clearly. He'd be looming over me with his dark, unfettered eyes. He'd lean in close and frown. Grumbling, he'd say, "Pucas, may I remind you, these seats are for patrons only." I audibly sighed just thinking about it. As luck would have it, though, Gavin and Naomi are huddled over the Galaga cabinet, trying to figure out why the monitor's not working. Freedom. My buns are experiencing the best freedom has to offer. And while my body feels like it collapsed at any moment, I feel good about it. Right? Getting the word out about Funplex event was great. It's not going to stop being funny to me. Seeing people's face light up with excitement is why I'm really here. Plus, spending time with Ashley was an added bonus. She certainly got passion to spare. Smiled to myself. The pain in my heels and the grumbling in my tummy, worth it. While enjoying the respite, I let my eyes close for a moment. And of course, the second I do hear that, I hear footfalls closing in. There you are, Pucas. We've been looking all over for you. But we were specifically going to meet up back here, at the Funplex pop-up arcade. Yes, but we didn't expect you to be tucked into the darkest corner of the arcade. I'm hiding from Gavin. He'll put me to work if he sees me. Hiding behind the pinball machines is probably not the smartest choice then. You know how much he loves pinball. Every spare moment he thinks no one's watching him is spent getting that high score. I have so many candid pictures on my phone of him playing pinball. That's a little weird, but okay. You have to show me, like, right now. Yes, his concentration face is so cute. Before I can even react, Ashley has her phone out and is scrolling through pictures of Gavin. Ahem. Both look up at me guiltily. Don't we have more important matters? Max is over in a few hours, and we have a lot of work left to do. You're right, Pucas. Please don't tell Gavin. Your secret is safe with me. Right, so. Excuse me. Business time. I think I got something. Go on. I have a friend, and she's an indie arcade developer. The new title she's been working on is amazing. It's got co-op, it's got competition, it's got magical schoolgirls. Now you're talking. It's got it all. Wait, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this game. Is it called Magical Moon Cuties? Yeah, that's the one. And she's thinking about premiering it at Funplex event.
Oh my gosh!
It would be cooler than cool. Sounds interesting enough. Might make for another fun game for people to play. Definitely. My friend's somewhat renowned in the indie scene, and the game's been in development for years. I'm sure it'd create some buzz at least. Are you kidding, Teo? We'd be the talk of the arcade world. I do like being the talk of world-sized things. Let's go check it out. I stand up, invigorated by the news. As I start walking back toward the hall with Teo, I hear a call from behind me. Wait! I turn around and see Ashley standing there, fidgeting. Her green eyes are darting back and forth nervously. Ashley? I, too, have a plan. She motions for us to come back towards her, which we do. What's your idea, Ashley? She puts an arm around Teo, and the other one around me, huddling the three of us together. So what I'm proposing might not be the most legal course of action. Do I even want to know? You've seen the huge monitors hanging from the ceiling in the middle of all the major halls, right? How could I miss them? They're constantly bombarding us with ads and false hopes of high-quality convention food. No matter how amazingly tempting that $9 hot dog looks on the big screen, don't even think about it. Exactly my point. Everyone's looking at it. I know a way to sneak into the back area. All we have to do is break into the main communication center and upload the flyer Pucas made into the rotation.
Whoa.
You want to do what? Shh, keep your voice down, Teo. Unless you want to get arrested for being an accomplice. It's a genius plan. Everyone at the Max will see our name in lights. Okay, so yeah, that's a less than legal way of getting the word out, but I have to admit, you've got me intrigued, and it definitely worked, but I don't know. Trust me.
What about?
Of course, we need to go in disguise, but I'm already nicely disguised, but Pucas would need to switch into something way more distracting. Why more distracting exactly? To distract from your face, of course. What I'm trying to say is people remember the costume, not the person wearing it. Which means, Maid Pucas rides again. I knew it. Come on, you did so great on stage. Think of this as your encore. How about it? Let's not forget about Magical Moon Cuties. It's a valid alternative. Both options are valid, honestly. Splashy advertising would certainly drive foot traffic, even if getting it up there would be dodgy. Importantly, Iris could help us do it safely without anyone noticing, safer than Ashley going off on her own to try the invisible stunt. But a highly anticipated indie title might do the trick, and result in far less jail time. Let's check out Magical Moon Cuties. Ashley, you got this. You don't need any help from me. Honestly, I don't feel like getting carted off to jail today. It's not on my scheduled agenda. Plus, I'm pretty sure Ashley can handle breaking and entering all by herself. And yes, I do realize how wrong that sounds, even in my own head. I bet you've seen plenty of heist anime, so much that you can sneak into the Natural History Museum and steal the world's biggest Fabergé egg in the middle of the day. I've got like 12 bobby pins holding this wig on. I won't let you down. I know you won't, and please try to be careful. Ashley smiles widely before prancing off into a crowd of arcade folk. You can stop worrying, Pucas. Ashley knows exactly what she's doing. That's why I'm worried. I literally almost said that before I switched over. Fair enough. Well, shall we go see a lady about an indie game? We shall. As we left the pop-up and traveled deep into the halls of Max, people kept stopping us to say hello to Teo. We'd be happily on our merry little way and then get interrupted by a random person. Oh man, it's Teo. How you doing? Great, but hey, we're on our way to meet with someone. Let's catch up later. Cool, laters. And this happened every couple minutes. Walking through the convention floor was like walking through a field of landmines, where instead of explosions, it was uncomfortable introductions to people I'll probably never see again. Eventually, Teo leads me back to a section of arcade games hidden behind all the major companies' booths, near where his dance held the flash mob. What they set up here is mostly reminiscent of the rest of Max. Arcade cabinets are closely lined up side by side, making several aisles for gamers to aimlessly wander down. I would have expected to be more used to pushing my way through throngs of crowds by now, but nope. Teo and I force our way through huddled masses of chittering conversations. As I look around at all the different arcade games that surround us, I notice something's off. There are exactly 0 titles that I actually recognize. No Dig Dug, Gauntlet, nor Street Fighter, not even a hint of a pinball game. I was starting to get concerned. Teo, where in Max are we? This is the Indie Mega Arcade. Well, originally they called it the Indie Mega Arcade Expo, but then IMAX sued them. The what? That didn't explain anything to me. What are all these weird games? I understand nothing. If you'll hush those alluring lips of yours for a second. Okay, Teo. I'd be more than happy to explain. Okay, I'm hushing now, totally and completely hushed. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. The Indie Mega Arcade is a huge area of Max that showcases all the new and upcoming indie arcade games. Indie developers get a chance to show off their stuff, get useful feedback, and maybe get a few people interested in their game along the way. That's the dream of the indie dev, to make a game that people enjoy playing. I really don't know much about the indie arcade scene, admittedly. Working at the Funplex offers me a crash course in arcade culture. Every day I'm learning about completely new aspects. It does make perfect sense to have an indie game scene, I just never realized that it existed. It's pretty amazing, actually. A community of people who share ideas and a passion. Can't afford mass production runs of games, but they've got a lot of heart, you know? Can't crank out a box for every arcade on Earth, but indie developers are free to make whatever type of game they want. No pressure from a big-name company, either. Complete and utter creative freedom. Really, anyone can make a game if you put your mind to it. In fact, I bet even you, Pucas, could make an arcade game. What say you? Oh, my game would be spectacular. I've always been the idea guy. Ever since I was a kid, I've been dreaming up game ideas, like the zombie-themed fighter or a train-driving racer. Got tons of them just waiting to be turned into a fully-fledged game. I used to draw intricate arcade game levels on paper, too. Being surrounded by hard-working individuals at the Funplex only enriched that fantasy. I mean, I can't code or draw, but I can always dream up new ideas. Teo, you don't even know. I've got so many ideas swimming in my head for a game. Oh yeah? What would you make first? I would make... roguelike, procedurally generated open-world transic performer with loot boxes. Hey, can we cram any more buzzwords into that? Super cute puzzle game. If there's one genre of game that's easy to replicate, it's a puzzle game. Give it a good theme and people will be drawn to the aesthetics and mental challenge. I bet a simple match 3 game would be fairly easy to make. I'd want an appealing design, something really super adorable to catch the eye, maybe some bedazzling jewels or crushing candy or something. People would sink hundreds of tokens in to continue playing. Exactly. Highly addictive, highly profitable, but also highly fun. Fun's the ultimate point of a game, right? I like it.
Right.
Well, if you ever get super bored of being an arcade event manager, I can hook you up with all the proper people to launch your second career. What do you mean? Oh, I have some friends who make arcade games for a living. Some friends? As soon as I said it, I became overtly aware of the situation. Since we stepped foot into the Indie Mega Arcade, people have been waving and nodding to Teo, not to mention all the people stopping us on our way to get over here. I'd say more than some friends. You're a popular
What?
guy.
Come on, that's silly.
He waves his hand, waving off the very notion that I know to be true. Everyone knows who he is, and I had no idea. Teo's always been such a crowd pleaser at Showtime stage, but I guess his popularity spread to all facets of his life. Dance champion and indie arcade scene champion,
I try
huh?
to keep my friends' circles pretty separate. Sometimes it's not always perfect, and they tend to overlap. You know, like a Max.
I'm gonna assume you don't wear the hat that says dance when you're trying to keep your friend circles separate.
But hey, it's got upsides. All my friends are here. The biggest downside of Max is just so hard to see everyone. I never get to spend enough time with them, you know? I got friends here in the Indie Mega Arcade. I got my Funplex crew. I got the dancing community. I just can't see them all. And when I can't see them, I feel like I let them down. I hate having to choose between them.
Too
Once
real.
again, I've failed my friends. You know, it's a surprise anyone still talks to me anymore.
No. Teo sighs heavily. His mood shifted from excitement to utter solace. Cool collected Teo is showing a side I've not seen yet. Guess he's able to experience emotion other than joy. Confirmed, Teo is not a joy robot. But this isn't right. Sad Teo is worse Teo. As his friend, I must fix this. I know Teo's feeling pretty down about not being able to see all 100,000 of his friends, but he has to realize how many friends he has and that they all support him no matter what. Teo, you know what I can't even fathom right now? Huh? No, what? I honestly had no idea how famous you are. Like, everybody gets together and erects a golden statue in your honor sort of famous. The kind of famous that accidentally starts cults. Good cults, though, not the kind with sci-fi authors enthralling Hollywood celebs with tales of spaceships and volcanoes. I'm talking like happy, carefree dance cults. Pucas, I'm not famous or anything like that. I'm just a normal guy who happens to have a lot of friends. Teo, that's the exact definition of popular. If you looked up popular in the dictionary, your picture would be right there. I've seen so many of your friends stop and say hello to you. Plus, they completely understood when you told them you were busy. Not one left without a smile on their face. They really care about you. You know what, Pucas? You're right. The more I hang out with Teo, the more I learn about him. It's always something new and something unexpected. Let's bring this back around to why we're here. How'd you get involved in the indie arcade scene anyway? Through Michelle, the indie developer I want you to meet. I met her a few years ago at a previous Max. I was hanging out with my crew near the dancing games, and she stopped by to play around. Since she was new to the scene, I struck up a conversation with her, much like when I met you. Ah, so there was plenty of flirting then? I cannot help myself when surrounded by such beautiful, wonderful people. And Michelle makes indie arcade games? She's only one of the coolest and most prolific arcade developers in the industry today. She's worked on several big-name indie games, and when she's not working, she's speaking all over the world about arcade development. Color me impressed. Sounds like Michelle is the sort of influential person who could really help with Funplex event. She really is. I'm what now, Mateo Alvarez? Oh, Michelle, only the worst person I've ever met. As to be expected from someone of your caliber. Touche. I was just looking for you, by the way. Well, I'm glad I found you then. What's on your mind? Wanted to introduce you to Pucas. Nice to meet you. Pleasure is mine. Took me a second, but Michelle totally looks, uh-oh. You aren't, perchance, also a federal agent? This is it. I'm doomed. It was a setup. I'm about to be renditioned to a CIA black site. Who, me? No way. Although my sister, well, I can neither confirm nor deny what she does for a living. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. I'm shut up now and focus on arcade stuffs. I think what Pucas is trying to say is that you seem to have a very confident and authoritative expression, that's all. Yep, that is exactly what I meant. Got it on the nose. Thanks, Teo. Sure, okay, let's go with that. Anyway, I spoke with Teo earlier in the day, and he told me I had a business proposition. Consider me all ears. Allow me to elaborate. Pucas here was recently appointed as the event manager for the Funplex. Congrats, that's the cute little mom-and-pop place where Teo gets his groove on, right? I would categorize it as more like a grandma and grandpa kind of arcade. It's not the fanciest one out there, but it's got heart. I like an arcade with good heart. Reminds me of my youth. The good old days when you walk into your home away from home, quarter up, and enjoy the company. But I digress, getting too swept up in memories. Tell me more about the proposal. Pucas is putting on a special event at the Funplex called Funplex Event. It's a celebration of the arcade scene. Oh, I will. We're going to have high score competitions, esports stuff, Mr. Game reveals, the works. I'm going all out on it. And Teo, I take it you're doing advanced dance event as well? He is, but it'd be great if we could add one more thing to the list. Maybe the premiere of a new indie game? Le gasp! Could you possibly mean my game, Magical Moon Cuties? Magical Moon Cuties? Gotta say that 5 times fast. Magical Moon Cuties, Magical Moon Cuties, Magical Moon Cuties, Magical Moon Cuties, Magical Moon Cuties. Okay, it wasn't the worst. If you'll allow us the honors. Have I given you the elevator pitch yet? All I know is there are magical schoolgirls, and I'm intrigued. It's a competitive cooperative puzzle game where people have to work together to match all the magical orbs before their opponents can. Think 3-player magical drop, but with combo attacks. Everyone plays as a different adorable magical schoolgirl, hence the cuties part. It sounds better than the last time I heard it, right? I'm pretty excited to share Magical Moon Cuties to the world. I've mostly been doing some very selective demos for media outlets today, but so far the general public hasn't been allowed to play it. I'm looking for the perfect place and time to release it. Big publicity would mean I might land a manufacturing contract or a publisher, so I could do a wide release. Funplex event might be a good choice for that, but I'm gonna need a little more convincing. What else you got? Okay, Pucas, don't blow this. Or the arcade. Michelle had mentioned earlier she likes an arcade that has heart and soul. I should appeal to that. You aren't going to find an arcade that has more spirit than the Funplex. Everyone who frequents there, employees and patrons alike, want nothing more than for this event to succeed, and this is our chance to show the world our dreams. We've been pouring all our combined energy into making Funplex event victorious. Teo, myself, all the staff, all the gamers. With magical Moon Cuties on our side, we can just bring even more heart to this affair. It's the perfect fit for the kind of friendly atmosphere we want, bringing people together. Boy, you got me right in the feels. Plus, I really want to play magical Moon Cuties too. Fair enough, I was just sassing you anyway. After I discussed it with Teo, I already knew I was going to show magical Moon Cuties at the Funplex. Love that enthusiasm though. Really? Really? I mean, it's either the Funplex or Deco's Palace, and while Deco is the heavyweight champion of the arcade world, he's not a good fit for my dreams. Great, so it's settled? I think so. I know so. Magical Moon Cuties will have its first playable showing to the public at Funplex event. I'll hold my prototype cabinet over to your arcade the day before so you can get it set up. I'd appreciate you keeping it hidden until the event though. I already bought a mystery concealing tart for our rare game release. Heck, what's one more mystery concealing tart between friends? This will be an event to remember and I'm thrilled. Can't wait to share the news with everyone. Pucas, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Oh, but I should really be thanking you. Sorry to cut this convo off, but Michelle, your next interview is here. It's Mark from Hexagon. Mark, Hexagon, got it. It's so hard to keep track of all these different media outlets. Pucas, it's been great. My people will call your people or whatever they do these days. I'll expect your social media to explode later today. Ta-ta! And in a flash, Michelle wandered back into a crowd of people, her friend leading her into the next interview, leaving me standing in shock, unable to believe what had happened. A top indie designer premiering at my event? I imagined the adorable faces of anime magical schoolgirls. I could practically hear them cheering me on. I knew everything would be okay. This is my life. Huh? Oh, nothing, just musing to myself. Out loud, nonetheless. No worries, I do that all the time. Mostly when I'm alone, though. But overall, that went really well. Glad that Michelle was really excited to bring her game to the Funplex. Me too. Honestly, I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. What with Ashley helping me with the hype at the cosplay contests, I feel like Funplex event is going to be amazing. That's the spirit. I never doubted you for a second. I was about to reply with a totally witty retort about doubting in time. However, we were interrupted by the sounds of a bell chime. The hall will be closing in 30 minutes. It's over already? Ah, and I was just getting started. I've barely seen anything yet. Could do this for at least another 4 hours. I am frightened and confused as to how you still have so much energy left, Teo. I amaze even myself sometimes. As for me, I was exhausted, allowing yawns to escape my mouth. Well, I'm officially pooped and ready to go home. I still wanted to squeeze in a couple more games before this hall closes. They're gonna have to drag you out of the hall once it closes, aren't they? Kicking and screaming. Thanks for your help with Funplex event today. That's what friends are for. I'm glad to have you as a friend. Ditto. See you back at the arcade, Pucas. With our pleasantries exchanged, I left Teo to finish the dying seconds of Max in the Indie Mega Arcade. Is it just a one-day event? All in all, a successful day. Beep beep, Pucas, you have a new text message. Operation Hot Dog Takedown. Mission complete. Asset extracted and heading home for a leisurely bath and some anime. Huh? She hacked the video signs and snuck away. Look at the screens. Our flyer's airing there now. Wow, I didn't know Ashley was a hacker. Maybe we should swap tips. I'd like the Funplex to commit fewer felonies rather than more, Iris. Ah, okay. Right. Time to head home. Promised I would meet Juniper outside the main exit of the hall, and that's exactly where I was headed. The rush of fresh air hit me as I pushed the double glass doors open. It was nice, refreshing, and had a much better smell than the one I'd been around all day. Didn't have to wait long until I saw Juniper. She bounced happily up to me. So, how was your first Max, Pucas? It was... The amount of support I got from my friends today was amazing. I know I can always count on them, and I feel like we've bonded closer as friends. Can't wait to go back next year. That's to be expected with a convention. Although in your case, you really outdid yourself and got smacked with 300% of what anyone else would have, yeah? How do you figure? Well, most people drop by Max, play some games, maybe attend a panel to do some shopping. They're here to be catered to. You, on the other hand, were doing the catering. And like any good caterer, that means spinning plates and doing 12 different things at once. You found some interesting ways to push Funplex event and promote the Funplex as a whole. You worked your butt off to do it. So rather than attending Max, you were Max. Sure feels that way. I'm totally drained. I kinda envy you, you know? Sounds like you had some great adventures today. Other than signing that flyer, I didn't do that much beyond playing a few games and buying cute t-shirts and stuff. But let me tell you, they're really super cute shirts. Glad I could support you, though. Even if it was just, by doodling up a flyer. Hey, don't sell yourself short. That flyer looked super professional. I mean, no Comic Sans, but still pretty cool. Thanks, Pucas. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. I don't exactly get a lot of opportunities at the office to express myself. Okay, let's get home and get some real rest. We've both earned it. In fact, I'd say we took it. Juniper, don't. To the max! After that moment, the rest of the evening was a blur. I knew that Juniper and I took the train back home, heated up some pizza bagels, and I safely made it into my comfy bed. I think I was still in shock. At the beginning of this day, I thought that no one was going to know about Funplex event. We'd be stuck as a relatively unknown mom-and-pop arcade. But now it seems like the whole world knows, which is great, but also pretty nerve-wracking. I sighed heavily, letting all my mixed emotions flow over me. There was no turning back now. What I set in motion will stay in motion. It can only get bigger and better from here. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself as I drift to sleep. I'm proud of what I accomplished today, and I can't wait to tell everyone at the Funplex about all I've done. Hope they're proud of me, too. And before I know it, the Funplex event will be upon us. You've cleared level 3 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. Looks like you're really hitting it off with Naomi. Shocker. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, you've scored 12,150 points. Go for the high score. Actually, I don't know what the high score is, but hey, go for it anyways. Do you want to save your game? Yep. And I think that will be a good cutting off point for tonight. So, thank you everyone for coming by tonight. Really appreciate everyone coming to hang out. And if you've been hanging out and you want to see more and want to drop us a follow, we always really appreciate those. And you can join our Discord at that link where we let you know whenever we're going live and have some good times in there. You can check out our YouTube channel right there. I finally got all the VODs uploaded yesterday. It took a solid, I don't even know how long, because I went to bed and they were still uploading and they were done in the morning, but I got them all uploaded, so DBoss and everything is all up to date. I need to put things in playlists tonight. But anyway, and if you want to see just some shorter style content of ours, we have our Clips channel right there. So, thanks everyone for coming by. Next thing on the docket is going to be DBoss on Tuesday. Always a good time. So, thanks for coming by everyone, and we will see you next time.